Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I just wanted to share with you my way of being thankful for everything I have and sharing that with you guys. This is definitely the best time of year to give thanks. Be best to remember that there are so many things to be thankful for. You could spend forever just being thankful for what you have. Um, so I'm going to go through kind of a list of things. Right now, I'm very thankful because it was just a year ago that I was in the hospital, and not many people could see me, maybe a few friends and family, but was suffering from a infection that could have killed me. Thankfully, only took a few bones in my foot, and I can still walk pretty well now. Still have some other health issues, but I'm for the most part well recovered, and on the mend and improving. So you'll probably see me a little bit more often these days. Something very thankful for because it wasn't that long ago I had some more problems. So having good health, that's something you really should be thankful for. There's one thing. Life is not guaranteed. People have problems all the time, cancer, diabetes, nervous system problems, fibromyalgia, skin problems. People have all kinds of things that could cause them pain, cause them problems, and you got to be thankful that you don't have that. You really do. Life's not guaranteed. People do die of unknown causes for unknown reasons. You got to be thankful for those people you see in your life. One student that I had in class, and many of you know this student, you don't want to judge everybody by what they look like and by what they act like the first time you see them. You gotta make sure that not every, the old story says that you don't judge a book by its cover. Well, I knew a student that was relatively big for his size, big for his class. And the first day that I subbed in gym at, Lakewood Middle School a few years back, this student got in an argument. It wasn't a real fight. It was just a physical argument, or not physical, but verbal argument with another student, and had to separate the two just so to make sure that they weren't going to have a real fight. Judged him as being a little hot-headed, but again, don't judge a book by its cover. This student listened to what I had to say. I told him that, don't get in an argument with this student. I understood that there was an argument, and that understood both sides of it. I thought this student might be a problem. Turns out I was totally wrong. This was a very nice student, and got to know his mother as well. He turned out to be one of the nicest students I had in class that year. He tended not to get into fights. He actually was one of the kinder and more gentler students, even though he looked big and tough and ready to, take on whoever in class it was a problem. He was very kind. He turned out to be one of the best students, at least in his class. And for those of you at Lakewood, you probably know who I'm talking about. His name was Braden Poling. And he unfortunately passed away a few months back. It's really sad to hear that. Because I felt bad, actually, at the end of the year, thinking about it. Because I got to know his mother as a nice person, and he had turned out a whole lot better than I expected after the first couple of days, and now I miss him. again, life is not guaranteed. You should give thanks for what you have. Another thing I'm very thankful for this time of year, it was earlier this month that my parents celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary. This doesn't happen very often. You should give thanks for your parents. You should give thanks for all your siblings, for all your relatives, family, friends. This doesn't happen very often. It's a major accomplishment for any two people to be able to put up with each other for 50 years. And if your parents get along, that's great. Okay? That is awesome. If your parents don't, try to understand both sides. It's not that there's all men are bad or all women are bad. You might have one parent who's bad and one who's good. You might not have any parents that are all that good. But be thankful if they're willing to at least raise you. If that's all they ever do for you is at least raise you, that's something. Okay? You might want to look up the story of Shania Twain, because she was a famous singer, and she had to raise her siblings. There's several people out there. She's not the only one. There's plenty of other people who had to raise their siblings because their parents either died or they couldn't take care of them in one way or another. Again, be thankful for what you got. There's a song that I remember singing when I was a child, and I'll sing it for you. It's just a little blurb. It's called "Be thankful for what you have. Look round and you will see your treasures are everywhere. The best ones found are free." It's true and will stay true to this day. There's a lot more to be thankful for. We have a country where we have freedom of speech. You don't realize that there are so many places in this world, China, for example. I'm not going to rag on everybody at the Chinese government, but in general, you don't have freedom of speech in every country. China's one of those ones. They crack down on people who don't agree with them. There's other countries. You have to worry about just being able to speak your mind. If you speak your mind, the governments decide to put you in jail and just for speaking your mind. There's places where there's no freedom of religion, where you have to believe one religion only. There are countries out there that you can't even have a religion. If they set up a religion, then they crack down on that. We need to be thankful we're in a country that fights for equality. There aren't many countries that do that either. There's a lot of countries that support racism, support sexism, support bigotry, support slavery. It's hard to believe, but there's lots of countries like that. All too often we try to make fun of the United States for not doing this, that, or the other thing. We down the United States for what? I mean, in comparison to most countries, we live in a great country. This country actually fights for equality for those people. They fight for equality for people in different races, different sexes, different religions. You don't get that everywhere. People don't understand that. They need to take a trip overseas to figure it out. We have a country that educates everyone. That's another thing. I mean, we actually fund places to educate women and girls in other countries because they don't get education where they are. We have people who live in this country that volunteer. That's another thing that's not in every country. The Lions Club that I belong to is an international. It's one of the largest charities in the world. But it doesn't exist everywhere because not everywhere supports it. So you got to give thankful for things. Be thankful for the health you have because not everybody's helpful. It's one of the reasons I don't understand people who are especially as young students who are doing things like vaping. Why? You're putting yourself at risk. You don't know what's in it. Your health means something, and that's one of the reasons I'm against it, because I really want you to be healthy. You don't know what's in that stuff. Don't take things for granted. This is Thanksgiving. It's the best time of year to think about what you have. Be thankful for it. Every little thing you've got. There's so much to be thankful for. I live relatively poor. I'm not exactly one of the richest people there is on the planet, but I have so much that I can enjoy. There's so much I can do. Even though I'm poor in America, I'm not poor compared to most of the rest of the world. And that's something to be thankful for. Again, be thankful for what you have. I hope you have a good Thanksgiving, and I'll see you guys later.